Until I came to the Philippines in 1984, every church, campus ministry, every ministry I'd been involved in was very small, but very effective. When I came to the Philippines, I was suddenly faced with teeming millions of people who needed the gospel, and something shifted inside of me. I had a heart for the lost like never before, and I realized that while small was powerful, there was a lot of work to be done. That was 34 years ago, and now the church is rather large, and it's a privilege to have the guy who leads the whole organization here, not just Victory Church, but Every Nation Philippines, the Real Life Foundation, Pastor Gilbert Foliente, my good friend. Gilbert, welcome to the 5-Minute Leadership Podcast.
Hey, Steve. Thank you.
Before you came in the role you're in now, you were pastoring in Los Baños, which is a campus church. And after that, pastoring the U-Belt, the original church that we started here. Both of those churches grew phenomenally under your leadership. Talk to us about that. Why did they grow? How did they grow?
God makes things grow. In 1 Corinthians chapter 3, it says, somebody plants, somebody waters, but God makes it grow.
So when we say God makes it grow, is it fair for a campus missionary or pastor to expect growth?
Oh, yes. I believe when God puts you in a place, He's always got a plan to make it grow. And so He tells you to make disciples, He tells you to preach the gospel, and don't worry about church growth, but He will make it grow as long as you do your job.
So our job then is to plant, water, preach the gospel, make disciples, and not worry about
growth.
What ends up after that.
Yes.
In Los Baños, I remember there was a rumor, there was a story, kind of a legend around here that you were challenged to reach 10% of the campus.
Yeah.
And you were just young enough in ministry to actually do that.
Believe it.
Yeah. What happened?
Can't happen.
How big was that campus? How big was UP Los Baños?
During that time, 6,000 undergraduate students.
6,000.
So I took over the church with 30 students. All students, and the church was about to close down. A campus missionary, Steve Hollander, came and challenged me, and he said, why don't you believe God for the 10% of just the tithe of this campus? I thought to myself, wow, that's big, that's huge. During that time, the mega church in Victory was 600, and we've got 400 in Makati. So in my mind, it was like, 600 is huge. And
so 6,000 students, and he challenged you to reach a tithe of the campus, which would be 600. And you had 30 people at the time. Yes. Okay.
So I started challenging people. But in my mind, I thought, Lord, if we reach 600 people, I'm ready to die. You can take me. That's huge.
Now, were you still a student then, or were you full-time?
I was a full-time student because I love the campus so much. I stayed a little longer than usual.
All right. Now, this is the stuff of legends here in Manila, that you have a math degree from University of Philippines, Los Baños, and you've crammed 4 years of education into 8. That's the rumor.
7 years and 1 summer.
Okay, 7 years in a summer semester for a 4-year degree.
Yes.
All right.
Because I love the campus so much.
Yeah. You loved it so much you didn't go to class very often.
Exactly.
So you're not a full-time campus missionary, you're a student.
I was a full-time student and a full-time senior pastor with no money, no training. But I was foolish enough to believe that God could give us a tithe of the campus. It took a while. We preached, we did everything we can. But after that challenge came, after about 6-7 years, we saw a 10% of the campus in church discipled. And there came a time we saw 20% of the campus come, about 1,200 students.
Wow, and I've met some of those. Some of them are our pastor, senior pastor today. Some of those people are on staff here with Every Nation. Some work for Real Life Foundation. Some have planted churches in other nations.
Yeah.
What happened, it wasn't just trying to grow large there to have a sort of a mega church in Los Baños, but the vision seemed like it was always outward, and it was always reach, disciple, and send all over the Philippine Islands and really all over the world.
Yes, that's the vision. The vision is to reach lost people wherever they are, and we know there's lost people everywhere in the world. I've always repeated what I've heard from you, which I'm not sure if you've heard from somebody else.
Probably.
When you said, as long as there's one lost person out there, we're never big enough. And so we keep repeating that no matter how quote-unquote big we get, if there's one lost person out there, we're going to go reach out that person. We're not big enough.
As long as there's one lost person in my neighborhood, in my city, on my campus, in my community, then my church is not large enough, and I need to reach out with the gospel.